Hello, this is my review on the original Superman movies with Christopher Reeves. I give them 4 Superman movies, all 4 of them, a solid 8 out of 10. For being well-constructed, comedic, comedy, cheesy goodness fun of movies. These movies are. In a way, the modern. It's kind of like similar. You see, Christopher Reeve's Superman is sort of like, well, his movies are like Adam West's Batman stories. They're meant to be. They're meant to be silly to an extent of a movie. Even more so than Adam West Batman. Or maybe that's because these movies have better jokes than Adam West's Batman show. I don't know. I remember laughing harder in all 4 movies than I did in Adam West's Batman. Not saying I actually like Adam West's Batman more than Christopher Reeve's Superman. I think his stories are better than Christopher Reeve's stories as Superman versus Adam West's stories as Batman. Which is a kind of a sad thing because I think Christopher Reeves is a more talented actor than Adam West, and is more dedicated to the role of the hero. Dedicated is like fits the role of a hero of Superman pretty well, like a glove, in this movie. Christopher Reeve does. So I like Superman Quest for Peace. Now I'm going to talk about all the movies. What I like about the highlights of all the movies. Okay, now starting with Superman 4 Quest for Peace. So Superman 4, we get to see a cool action scene between Nuclear Man, yes, Nuclear Man, and Superman fighting. Nuclear Man is a half-breed Kryptonian and a half-breed of Lex Luthor's DNA clone. No, that is not Doomsday from Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. Don't be silly. I am not getting those movies mixed up. But I could have sworn that was this Batman's. But I don't know why Batman and Superman kind of rehash. Loose. I'm getting sidetracked now. Anyways, so I'm sorry. I can't focus. What I'm reviewing Superman, right? So I did like Superman score in the movies and Superman Evil Superman from Superman 3 was a highlight played by Christopher Reeves in Superman 3 of the Superman 3 movie. was easily the best character in the movie. Probably the most fun character, the funniest one. And I grew to hate Lois Lane by the Superman by the end of this franchise of Christopher Lee Superman franchise. She was fine the first time playing Lois Lane, but I don't know. It's just me, but as Lois. Lois, the girl who plays Lois Lane, probably is not the most talented actress that plays Lois Lane. She was fine the first time, but once she reappeared, her acting's pretty much on par with Macaulay Culkin's acting of Home Alone 2. Autopilot. It's on. Her acting seems to be. Oh, and that doesn't help. And also, Superman 2 goes out of his way to make Lois Lane try to come off as competent and intelligent. And having her showing that she figured out Superman's identity. Of that Clark and Superman are the same person in the Richard Donner cut, and also in the theatrical cut goes all the way to Superman 2. And I don't buy it. I do not buy this dumb, stupid person could ever figure out that that person's Superman. And I don't know, but what really bothers me about Superman 2, if it pulls a completely dumb, it brings this plot MacGuffin problem where Superman gives up his house to be with the woman he loves so he can have a life with her as a human. And because he can't, because as Superman, as long as he's still Superman. And therefore, then Zod comes to the planet and his army of henchmen, 1 and 2, are attacking Metropolis and challenging Superman. Superman needs to get his powers back. So he goes to the Fortress Assault to get his powers back. And then he comes to face Zod and his henchmen, 1 and henchmen 2. Only to not face them, but run like a pussy and fly away because he is no match for Zod and his army. Now, instead of trying to and sometimes saving the civilians in a way, out of harm's way. So, and I love how he Gene Hackman returns for a role of his terrible impersonation of playing a supervillain known as Lex Luthor. And he cannot still be evil again. Even his acting's on autopilot, completely phoning it in. Even more than Lois Lane was in Superman 4. Gene Hackman's phoning in more than that Lois Lane was in Superman 4. Performance is that bad. In both Superman movies, 1 and Superman 2, for Lex Luthor by Gene Hackman. And those are the highlights of why I like these shitty characters and these cheesy blockbuster popcorn entertainment of a movie known as the shitty run of Superman. That's only slightly more campy than the 50s era of Superman television show called The Adventures of Superman. You know how that black and white television Superman show was a lot better than Christopher Reeve's crap of Superman? You ever wish as a kid that Superman was as well written as the Superman on The Adventures of Superman from the 50s? And you just wish that Christopher Reeve's Superman just didn't suck so bad and was so pathetic of a Superman. Like, probably the most pathetic version of Superman. Not the most depressing version, but the most pathetic version of Superman. Next to the Superman the Musical Superman from Superman the Musical. Well, look that up, audience. That's the actual thing. That's how pathetic I think Christopher Reeve's Superman is in all 4 of his shitty movies. Superman movies. They're not bad movies, but they're shitty Superman movies, definitely. They're not great movies, they're campy movies, but they're fun movies. Nonetheless, I give them an 8 out of 10 to all 4 Superman movies. With the Christopher Reeves run. From Superman to Superman 4, I give a solid 8 out of 10. So I approve these movies. That's my review. Like this video. If you like it, hit the thumbs up. If you liked it, then hit the subscribe and hit the bell, and that will to get subscribed. Goodbye.